I'm so glad you told me that, Mingo, because literally I did not think that you could hear what is being played because every time I try to show people funny videos on OBS, they legitimately can't hear it. They can see it. And I was like, well, this is fucking stupid. And now they can, now it works. And now it works though. It's fucking crazy. That's fucking funny. Mango, you saved the day. But look at the fucking video. So I've been talking that whole time that poor I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear y'all. The what's too crazy? Yeah, yeah, I know it. So it works, right? Everything's works, right? What do you mean? I am so the video is still playing or not? The audio. Cool. So that's what we want. I don't want it to fucking play sound. But I do want my sound to go through. Mm, cool. No, no, I did not want that audio on there. Just this a TikTok loop of 30 seconds, every 30 seconds the same TikTok loop. You don't need some dude telling you what you're seeing. That's crazy. Thank you. Um that's funny as fuck though. Yeah, if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for Mango there, nobody fucking brought that up. Dell, why didn't you bring that shit up? You were just the fact that the audio is playing homie. You're the detective. You're the detective that literally is on it all. All right. Anyways, where were we? Were we talking about? Oh, Three Eye Atlas. Are we talking about that now? Look at that god tier photo, and then look at that fucking JPEG ghost fart, and then look at that one. What they say is fake, but it's pretty hard to fucking fake something that has telemetry metadata. And then that shit. Why does it turn into a square, a fucking H, a fucking X, and back? The way it moves. I get that comets tumble. I get it. But a 30 fucking minute time lapse shows what's it doing? Why is it dancing? I don't it shows geometric fucking shit. So when they dropped the Hubble imagery, NASA's hasn't dropped shit since that. Now they're dropping JPEGs because the Hubble imagery shows 120-degree space, like three jets, like perfectly spaced out. Three jets. Like it's not like and there's only nickel, no iron. Come on now. That's unprecedented. In nature that's not it doesn't happen. You have to you can iron and nickel come together. Metals come to accompany each other. You would have to separate them and that's manufactured. In where we are. We don't know if that's everywhere, but maybe in that fucking solar system, maybe nickel shows up, you know, without iron. They're just separate. We've only seen it manufactured. Like we've only seen that we've only been able to do that with manufacturing, but also there's 22 fucking anomalies on this thing just by the verified source, NASA, and they're forcing their math to make it work. Like sure, a comet can do an anti-tail, right? But an anti-tail is typically an optical illusion. This was not an optical illusion though. So a comet is like, to my understanding, the reason why the tail's like behind it is because it's being pushed through space, right? It's like tumbling through space and it leaves a trail. Yeah, that's what's propelling it, right? So an anti-tail, it's pulling it. It was pulling it. The shit that's leaving, yeah, but it's spinning through space. It's not being pulled through space. It's like tumbling through space. And no, the anti-tail is like yeah, and when it got to there, I can just pull up like the whole list because I'm not a scientist by any means. Avi Loeb is a fucking genius, and they literally discredited him the whole way. He did the math, and they said he's a fringe. He's fringe. Fucking discredit him, smear his name because he's talking about we should fucking be prepared for if it is something else that we. Could you? They said he's fringe because he said that this thing is acting in ways that we are unable to predict. So their predictions weren't able to map it. Like it was showing ways of like mechanical, like being maneuvered in ways that defied all predictions and shit. So it gets fucking crazy because of the fact that he did the math for fucking NASA because NASA's the one that is publicly funded and has the best fucking capability of getting images from this shit. NASA seemed to be not interested. For example, Juno is planned to be like it's going to run out of gas. It's coming to its end of its term. They're just going to jettison it into the fucking planet. But instead, it has enough fucking juice to where it could jettison its way towards Atlas when Atlas was going to pass it. They did the math. They definitely could do it. They probably did do it, but they're not going to tell you that they did. They just ignored everybody about it. Now the one telemetry out of the fucking 5 or whatever, the one that they did finally say, yeah, we'll get it. The one that did get it is that picture right there, that JPEG of a ghost fart. So the best technology when it's right next to the fucking thing, got literally a blank piece of paper. A blank piece of paper could have got better imaging. Like you could get better detail off. They could have handed you a blank piece of paper and that would have been better. But you're getting god tier photos from observatories from Earth and they're saying it's not real. They can't discredit the fucking work because he showed his work. He showed all of it. The Diego from the Chile Observatory, it's all fucking documented. So they can't discredit that. But they are discrediting the photo when it circulates by putting a fact checker on it because people are saying that it looks like it doesn't look right. It looks too geometrical. Right? So they're discrediting it that way. Also, Avi Loeb posted to get his shit published. He published something saying that the odds of it doing this, the odds, right? He said we should be aware that it could be manufactured. They published it, but they edited it, taking that part out without his consent. It's just, huh? So what? I don't know if I'm just losing volume or what. Yeah, so it's just really fucking bizarre that that my thing is why is it such a threat to what if it is fucking little green guys? Who fucking cares what it is? Let's fucking look at it. Why are you fucking suppressing it? That's my thing. That's just the way I think about it. What are you so scared of, NASA? Not being the fucking owner of space? I'm gonna go grab my glasses just because my head's starting to hurt, and I'm just gonna go grab those blue light glasses real quick. Anyways. Bummer, dude. I just don't know what I did with them. Fucking. Who's here? I can't hear anybody unless my fucking earbuds died. Dale, you're still here. Okay, cool. You guys are here. Who? But you can see it now, right? I figured that out. I didn't know I could do that. Yeah, I didn't know I could do that. Dude, these fucking lights. I needed to find my glasses. Those glasses are gonna save my life. But um I forgot what we were talking about. Oh yeah. Fucking which part do you want to get into? The anomalies that makes it anomalies, or the shit that's just verified? By verified I mean the agency that's allowed to call it verified, right? Or or do you, yeah, or do you want to get into yeah, which part do you want to get into? I like, my favorite part is the fucking Cassandra part, but that's just me. Or do you want to talk about do you want to just talk about little green guys? I don't fucking care. You guys pick. Does does anybody know it? What I'm anomalies? Okay. I was gonna say, does anybody know what I'm talking about? To big like, does anybody else know? Like, are we on the same page about 3i Atlas? Like, does anybody else know anything about it? Okay. Really? Exactly. That's so fucking weird that nobody's heard about the third interstellar object. Literally, that went by all of it. What did I say earlier? Um, it's just crazy to me that it's been so silenced. And not only that, but it has a glommer on it. The CIA literally made it so FOIAs cannot be pulled anymore. You cannot FOIA it. A glommer is a fucking, okay, so FOIAs mean that you can request information on shit, right? For the public interest. And a glommer literally does the exact opposite of that, saying we cannot confirm or deny. The CIA says we cannot confirm or deny that we have that information. So it literally blocks FOIAs. They have glommer. They definitely have the glommer. Yeah, the CIA. Why are they involved in anything about this space? Why are they blocking FOIAs? On a fucking, if it's just a rock, fuck. Why are you putting a 65-year fucking generational fucking hush order on it? Fucking stupid. Like, what do you mean smoke screen? But to But think about it, to cover something else, this is the one thing, to cover something else. The smoke screen is that we've been following this thing for a lot longer than we care to fucking admit. And if we knew how long we've been following it, then we would know the technology and the shit that we actually do have out there. And that's what the Cassandra report is on. And it's very fucking, it's hard to, you can't really hand wave it away, we'll put it that way. Um, It's fucking crazy. I'm just trying to pull up the 22 anomalies because I can't do the math. Hmm? Oh, they track it down, dude. Like it's crazy. Well, so two photos I haven't posted up on that image on my camera that you'll see two images that have meta on them, and they leaked right before that. These two images leaked, that image right there, that green one, and that image right there, that one, and that one actually turned like it's a three photo thing, but it has Umbra, it has things on there that naming things that we have no public information about. Anything in space has that information, but it leaked before any observatory footage or photos. And in order to do that, they've looked at it, and they would whoever the hoaxer is either they are psychic and they knew where the stars would be, where it exactly would be, what the colors, what trajectory, exactly down to the fucking thing. They either are psychic or it's real, the meta, fucking, like, you can fake meta to an extent, but what would the hoaxer gain? Because they were anonymous, right? So I want to pull in the Cassandra thread. That shit's fucking wild to me. But I gotta find Avi Loeb's 22 anomaly thing, because he is so smart. And you guys might know math. Do you guys know math? Okay. Yeah. Like, it's just fucking harder for me to believe that we wouldn't. The way that NASA did not sit, like, just literally didn't fucking care, right? They just were not interested in it. I thought you were so interested. I thought you were interested, but they literally just did not care. So that to me is a fucking interesting to me. So here's like 12 of them, and then it stacks on other accounts. So one is the retrograde trajectory is aligned to within 5 degrees with the ecliptic plane of the planets around the sun with a likelihood of 0.2%. And then during July and August, that's number 2, as well as in early November of 2025, it displayed the anti-tail, so sunward jet, and it wasn't an optical illusion, which it typically usually is. Like, I can't really find one that isn't an optical illusion. I don't know. And its nucleus is about 1,000,000 times more massive than Oumuamua, which is the first interstellar object. Yeah, and 1,000 times more massive than Borisov, which was the second one. And it was the fastest thing that we've recorded in space. Like, altogether, that likelihood is 0.1%. Its arrival time was fine-tuned to bring it within tens of millions of kilometers from Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and then it was going to be unobservable when Earth could observe it, because it was going to be by the sun. It was going to peak behind the sun. That's a 0.005% chance for that to happen. It literally did a drive-by. It did a flyby our planets and hid when we could actually observe it with our best equipment on Earth. It was behind the sun. It went by the sun. I don't think it went completely behind the sun. They told us it did. I don't think it did. The path that it took was a 0.005% chance that it would ever gotten on that path, because it came down and went fucking on our plane, right? And then did a drive-by very closely to several planets, and then fucking hid from the only planet that would fucking be weird about it. It's like, come on. And then, like, its gas plume contains nickel, like industrial produced nickel alloys, and a nickel to cyanide ratio that is orders of magnitude larger than that of all known comets, like Borisov, all of it. And it says that likelihood is below 1%. So start stacking these percentages on top of each other. And then you got its gas plume contains only 4% water by mass. A primary I don't know what that word is. Constituent. I don't know what that word is. But it says familiar, like, it's not, I guess, it's like, I don't know what that means really. I don't know the math of what water to comet ratio bullshit is. Damn, it's getting light out. All right, so let me continue before it gets too light out. Okay, it shows extreme negative polarization, unprecedented for all comets that we know of, including the two interstellar objects, like Borisov, and that's below 1%. It arrived from a direction coincident. I was like digging into this part. So remember the wow signal from remember the wow signal? Does anybody know what the wow signal is? Like the 70s or something? Yeah, it was a while ago. And it came from a specific spot. And that spot, literally, to make that specific, it was, the wow signal is fucking crazy. And I was like, where did Oumuamua come from? Because I thought Oumuamua might have came from there. It didn't. Where did Borisov and them come from? Where did 3i Atlas come from? Fucking literally the radio signal, the wow signal that has never been fucking heard since, and never been fucking, like, what made it, right? But it was within 9 degrees with a likelihood of 0.6%. It came, like, it literally came from where the wow signal was, 9 degrees from there. And if you were if you were going the speed that 3i Atlas is been recorded to going as, it would take that amount of time, essentially. That's like what they say. That's what they're saying. This is just for entertainment purposes. Don't shoot me. But no, seriously, isn't that wild? Like, let's look. I gotta look at the math on like exactly because I do have. I was really deep diving down that. So So let's look at when the wow signal was reported. So it was 1977. Wrote wow and circled it. That's why it's called the wow signal. It's over 50 years. It's still a mysterious fucking like mystery to us because the signal exhibited features typical of distant technological transmission broadcasting right at the 1420 megahertz frequency. The hydrogen line is what, like the specific frequency. It's like, yeah, it's a specific frequency. Like it's a favored fucking theoretical wavelength. They call it like the galaxy or something like that, like the interstellar communication essentially, because neutral hydrogen is the most most, it's all over the fucking universe, right? It's abundant as fuck. And then you get like and it's never repeated since, right? So anyways, where they found what I don't think it was a launch. I think it was like, yo, hey, yeah, I think it was a yo, we're coming. Because we've been blasting our fucking signal out into space for a long time. We have a golden record out there. Whatever alien came across the golden record with the Beatles on it, fucking threw it out because they had to reverse fucking engineer time to get a fucking record player. No, we were broadcasting our signal in a really, really, really caveman way. Like, how are you going to get your signal out there? A record. No. Anyways. So think about that though. Like, I'm trying to figure out the math. So 1977 and 100 and so I gotta hold on. I gotta do the math here because I don't want to misspeak here. Because the speed that we have this thing recording at is it's like 150. What? It's like 150. Like 150. It's 153,000 miles per hour. So 153 miles, because the speed of, hold on. So how would we do that? So I'm going to give this to my fucking multi-agent stack. Okay. I got to say, take this math and give it to 4 agents. So not one can. Also, they noticed that they took the fucking archive, they went backwards, in the archives, and they noticed Three-Eye Atlas fucking kind of strolled by several planets on the way here. Like took their way around the ones that are probably popping with life, or fucking at least enriched gases and shit. See what they say. I got two. I could share my screen so you guys could see them thinking, but. Okay. He just hung up. What did he say? What did you say? No. What did Went say? They're doing way too much math. That's not what I need. I don't need that math. I need the math to tell me this, the arrival, not a fucking me too. Okay. If they're gonna fucking do the math ass backwards, all four of them were doing fucking different things. Like, okay. How many years is it from 77? How many years is it? Please tell me. I need to know first. I can't do math. So 77, and how many years is it to 2025? So this fucking thing. Hold on. It would take them, and they also did like a couple detours, right? Did a couple detours. Three-Eye Atlas was fucking, when they reversed archived, it was going by planets that it was interested in. It seemed like it wasn't just like a trajectory. It 41.6 years to get here. Is that too, like, you said 49 years? It could have got here at 41.6 years. It's 49, you said, right? Yeah, that's the wow signal. So, but it's 41.6 years. I just feel like that's fucking too close. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. It would have got here 41.6 years. I don't know. It didn't though. It got here in what, 49 years? Because it was driving around. It could have got here earlier is what I mean, right? Or am I dyslexic? It could have got here earlier. It could have got here at 41.6 years. And instead, since it took like some flybys in other places, it took its time. And it got here in 48 years. Because if it went nonstop, it could get here at 41 years. Come on, you gotta have a potty break, right? 41 years nonstop. Mm-hmm. That's if it came here nonstop. There's no way it was gonna come here nonstop. Yeah, and it was dry, and also the trajectory that it went on, it didn't come straight here. It literally went around different areas. It was like meandering around. Kind of going over here, going over here, you know? MAGA. We can't go there. There's too much MAGA. No, it would be, it's like it's older than like our universe or our galaxy, our little solar system wasn't even born yet when this thing was existing. They dated it because of how as far as they could track it and the size, I guess. That's a really good question because I've always wondered how the fuck do they know how old things are like that if they weren't there for it? Like that's my thing. I can get like a better explanation than I could ever describe because I don't fucking know how anybody can fucking know, but it could have got here earlier and it decided to just fuck that, you know? So like the thing is that they're saying that this is how like the Webb telescope shit that they got, the one that showed the jets and shit, you know? I guess that thing is like a I just asked like my local model like explain it please, and they said it's analyzing like the Webb telescope is literally like an analyzing of a chemical fingerprint. So it uses a chemical fingerprint. So uh, so they said yeah, so several studies revealed that the comet is 10 to 12 billion years old. That makes it nearly 3 times older than our 4.5 billion year old solar system, dating back to a period called cosmic noon when the universe's stars formation was at its peak. And I said, how do you fucking know? And they, how you know? They said one, two, three different things. So one, isotopic fingerprints. Do you want me to read that or do you guys understand that enough? I don't fucking know. When I read it, it don't make sense to me. Yeah, so yeah, so one is isotopic fingerprint, and then two is a deeply frozen environment. Um, and then three is the trajectory and galactic backtracking, like the what they seen in that shit, I'm guessing. Two is like a deeply frozen environment. So JWSTs detected the abundance of water and carbon dioxide ice. It's a combination that tells scientists that the comet spent its entire multi-billion year life in deeply frozen, undisturbed state. It acted as a cosmic time capsule, perfectly preserving the exact chemical soup of the ancient interstellar cloud where it was born. Don't know what the fuck that means. I don't understand time to begin with, though. I'm not gonna lie. But the 41 years thing, I know you guys are like, well, it's 7 years off. To me, that's crazy. Um, Again, like the wow signal, it being like within 8 to 9 degrees coming from the same location just alone, not even considering the time that is so spot on, is 0.6%. Is there a way to like, is that like not mathematical? Because to me, when I hear 0.6%, less than 1%, less than 1%, when I'm hearing all these fucking percentages that are less than 1%, to me, can you start stacking that or is that not stackable? You know what I mean? Like, can't you add them all together and be like, this thing, if you have 1%, if it makes this thing makes it less than 1%, and this thing also makes it less than 1%, can you stack that and make it negative 2% or something? I don't fucking know math though. 22 of them? Yeah. Like another thing was like when it was went to buy perihelion, right? It's like that's when comets will like usually fizzle out, break apart, or whatever. This thing fucking got faster and extremely bright. Like brighter than any known comet we've ever known. It was like bluer than the fucking sun. Yeah, brighter than the fucking sun. And it came, that's when it was gonna be around the peekaboo thing. It's just gonna go where we couldn't see it, right? Well, where they wouldn't let us see it with the telemetry. But it went around the sun or whatever, and it came out like naked, transformed. It lost its fucking whatever you want to call that thing, a sail. You know, it's been fucking deep space fucking rolling. But it got like 7 jets after that. It fucking got like faster. It got it literally cooled down extremely cool, super fast. Like something that literally was that close to the sun, that was hotter than the sun, cooling down immediately when it peekabooed. It had like super fucking weird effects on our sun because it caused what they say, because the what do you call that weather satellite? It's like a weather satellite, and Soho, supposedly this is their excuse, but people on ground also got extreme fucking magnetic bullshit. Like it did some weird shit 3 different times while I was behind there, and it knocked out those Soho and fucking. I think it conveniently did the Soho and yeah, solar flares. I don't think it conveniently knocked. I think it conveniently knocked them out because they would have to show us the data, but yeah, they had attributed it towards what these actual fucking events that took place were, um, which I think is weird, you know. Trying to yeah, I'm trying to find like more of the anomalies. So the anti-solar jets is still fucking weird to me. That one's I don't know if we touched on that one though, but like so it exhibits sunward tail. It's not. It's the tail's in the front of it. It's an anti-tail. It's not back tail. It's an anti-tail. Comets have a tail trailing them, not in front of them. And this was proven not to be an optical illusion, right? It requires so it, like they force the math though. So like near perihelion exhibiting non-gravitational acceleration, which would require massive evaporation of at least 13% of its mass. Whereas preliminary images indicate that the object maintained its integrity and did not break up. But it did a maneuver to non-gravitational fucking like it's acceleration that would literally lose 13% of its mass, but it didn't break. That's what I mean. Like they couldn't predict it. Like it was doing shit that if it did what it was predicted to do, it was just fucking kind of wouldn't have done any of the shit it was doing actually. But and then tightly. This is like I told you guys. Like the tightly the jets. Like they maintained orientation across like 1,000,000 kilometers, multiple directions, relative to the space, like to the sun, like throughout space they're focused on the sun, and its measured rotation, like it had like a what they called like a heartbeat, so it rotated every 6.6 or 7 point something hours. Like most comments are like fizzling everywhere, but you just can't really ignore that, right? In my eyes. It's like 153,000 miles per hour. It's like the fastest thing we tracked. 153,000 miles per hour is the fastest thing that we've like recorded as a comet anyways. But I just feel like it's all fucking wild. It's all wild. But like it's just fucking weird. Like let's ponder over some more of those. Let's see what we didn't touch. Did we touch the like we touched the nucleus, right? The diameter of the nucleus. Like the diameter of the nucleus is like 2.6 kilometers. And number density of its parent population. So like assuming it's a natural comet is what like so they did the math as assuming this is a natural comet that exceeds like the mass reservoir of planetary disks around low metallicity stars by orders of magnitude. So like basically we would never have came across something if it's a normal comet this size at that magnitude containing all that shit. We would have came across way more smaller sized stuff with the same shit before we would come over this huge fucking thing that if it hit us would cause like an extinction, right? Or something. I don't know. But the retrograde trajectory of 3i Atlas is aligned within, we already did the 5 degrees with the orbital planets of the sun, around the sun, and with a probability of 0.2%. The Milky Way disk is misaligned with the ecliptic plane by 60 degrees, suggests that the trajectory of 3i Atlas may have been planned. And their arrival was fine-tuned to bring a minimum distance of that like 29 and 54 million kilometers from those planets, and unobservable from Earth. It's just weird to me. I don't know what this is. Maybe you guys can help me out with this. But Perijove, like Perijove. That's what is that? So Perijove, the distance. So Perijove distance of 3i Atlas during its encounter with Jupiter is 53.6 million kilometers. So it was so close to Jupiter's hill, the hill radius. I know that like destroys many things because it's the gravitational shit, you know? And it literally took like the way Avi was describing it is anything that goes near Jupiter is fucking destroyed at that pretty much. But it could use the hill radius as, you know, he said that would be a tall tale, like if it uses that hill radius, and it was 53.5 million kilometers, like on the spot. Like every planet it went by was just really too fucking oddly close. And then the Hubble Space Telescope images, this is when they stopped fucking posting shit and gave us JPEG farts afterwards. But the anti-tail before perihelion must have been in the form of a collimated jet towards the sun, and that is about 10 times longer than it is wide. This is similar to the collimation observed in post-perihelion images out to several 100,000 kilometers. No comet has ever exhibited a physical sunward jet of any of that length, especially with that effect, like ever. So for a technological object is what he's saying, a beam of particles would be used to block the solar wind from impacting the nucleus surface at a relative speed of order 500 kilometers per second, is what Avi was saying. That he was saying that it's used to protect itself, and that in addition, the veil of dust around 3i Atlas is just the right column needed to block sunlight hitting the nucleus surface. Kind of weird, right? Like, that's why they kept calling him a conspiracy theory, because he was doing the math that NASA was trying to force to make sense of. So he was like, they were forcing it, and he's using the math that's actually in front of him and saying, this makes more sense, you know? At distances, the initial rotation axis of 3i Atlas was aligned within 8 degrees with the sunward direction when it entered the solar system. And the probabilities, like we said was 0.5, is still that. And then this is what I was talking about, like what the rotation, the observed wobble of the pre-perihelion anti-tail jet in the direction of the sun requires the base of the jet to be within 8 degrees from the sun-facing pole. I don't get this map, but with a probability of 0.5. I don't know what that quite means. But the existence of a prominent, he's all stuck on this, anti-tail jet towards the sun on the way of 3i Atlas out of the solar system requires a similar coincidence near the opposite pole of the rotation axis. The fact that the collimated jet appears as the sunward anti-tail both before and after perihelion, while reversing direction at perihelion relative to the direction of the motion, has a tiny probability of occurring at random, equal to the square of 0.000025% chance. I don't know if you guys get that, but it flipped around and the tail would still pointed towards the sun as it was leaving, I guess. That I don't understand either. Does anybody follow the math? I don't get it. I can see what he's saying, but I don't understand what that means in, like, I don't understand, like, the percentages, like, how he gets the percentages from that. But Like he shows it all, but I'm just like, cool. So it did a fucking 180 and the tail persisted that shouldn't. And now it's still facing the sun, is what I gathered. But I might be fucking wrong on that. Like this, I don't understand this statement. This statement says the launch base of the post-perihelion antitail resided on the night side of 3i Atlas before perihelion, and the base of the pre-perihelion antitail jet is now on the night side of 3i Atlas after perihelion. For these bases to be active only when facing the sun, they must be well insulated on the night side for a period longer than several months. Heat naturally flows by conduction throughout the body of a natural comet, making the insulation requirement difficult to satisfy. Like it's not breaking apart. It's like, I don't know. And then he says the gravitational deflection of 3i Atlas by 16 degrees at perihelion is exactly twice the opening angle of the antitail before perihelion. It's like it's mechanical. Like that coincidence allows the wobbling jet around the rotation axis to generate an antitail in the direction of the sun before perihelion and a counterjet on the opposite pole after perihelion, with the jet opening angle of 8 degrees on both poles. Like, yeah, for sure. It's too fucking weird, right? And then 3i Atlas aligned with the sun-Earth axis to within an extraordinarily small angle of 0.69 degrees. At that time, its antitail pointed at Earth. So possible technosignatures came from the direction of the WoW, right? Huh? Techno, like the biomechanical arc is my theory. Everybody's theory is that it's a biomechanical. I don't think people are on it. I don't think aliens are on it. I think it's a wandering fucking traveler of the universe seeding itself. Like the image, like on the dark web and shit, there was like in South Africa, they got signal from it, radio signal or whatever. And nobody will say that. And this is the time the government shut down, right? So everybody shut down. 21 nations were involved for some reason. Other nations weren't shutting down, but they were involved with our shutting down. And you know what's even weirder is that NASA said they got the image from the technology that they promised they would, but the government said that we shut down. We don't have enough people to provide you with that image. And then but they had enough people to do an unprecedented fucking fucking planetary defense drill for training. And SETI, for the first time in 15 years, updated their policy for communication with extraterrestrial life must be done first with the government. The first policy update in 15 years from SETI was done during the government shutdown. And it was that any extraterrestrial communication must be done through the corresponding parties of the government and these certain affiliates. Do you want to hear the whole weird shit about it though? We could just fuck these anomalies that don't make sense to us because it's too mathematical, or we could jump into the fucking pipeline of what makes sense. The fucking weird shit, like the shit that doesn't make sense. So the Cassandra shit that I was telling you guys about, that's where shit gets fucking weird. Because those two images that dropped with metadata that from things that we don't have any record of being in space, that took it, and it was so on point with the stars. The stars in that image they would have had known the fucking observatory data before they even processed the data, or you know what I mean? It does either they're psychic or they were there. That's all I'm saying. Or they had access to telemetry that wasn't processed yet and put it out, weeks before or whatever. So to me, the images are real. They can't be discredited at this point, So anyways, the images show C2025, N1, Umbra, 3C, Cassandra, Oracle, VI, Argus, VIS. Right? That's the metadata. It's like the full color one came out, and if you compare it to the observatory's fucking images, and they didn't post theirs yet. They didn't even have it processed yet. It's literally on point. Exactly. So a document surfaces because if you search up Cassandra and the Cassandra like deep space shit, a document comes up, like a published fucking peer-reviewed document comes up, and that document is about interplanetary defense, right? So the Cassandra literally is it's IAC-06-A3.5.7. So I could share my screen actually maybe and show you the document. Well, Cassandra is, no, it's on the image. It's on the metadata. Cassandra in the Greek philosophy or whatever, it's somebody that she's cursed because she's cursed, and her curse is that she sees all things. She speaks the truths. Everybody hears her but does not believe a word she says. So she's a prophet that can't prophesize. You're breaking up really bad. I don't know why. But anyways, Cassandra, the title literally is a strategy to... You're breaking up. I don't know why, but it's like every time you speak, it sounds like you're... But anyways, am I breaking up for anybody else? It's so if I'm hearing him staticky, then it's on my side, right? No, because you guys sound great. Speak again? Okay, that's good, actually. Yeah, but I sound staticky, huh? There's no internet provider other than satellite internet, and I don't know if you guys have checked satellite internet, but I've checked all the providers and used all the providers, and they all suck next to Starlink. Starlink's the best I can get. I have Starlink. I love it. Yeah. What do we do if you guys can't hear me? Because you guys gotta fucking see the Cassandra project. That's where it gets juicy. Let me try if I could try a different mic here. Hold on. What if I do this? Is it that bad? Oh, are you snorting the shit that hurts or the good shit that doesn't hurt? Sucking the... Yeah, sucking the day's dick then. Bring on the dicks. How do you change your audio again? On OBS? It gets really crazy though. No, we've known about it though for a long time, 20 years. Yeah, it gets weird. Let me get out of this static because I gotta figure it out. Should I just like restart?